va s'essayer. Je ne sais pas si on est bon. Vous m'entendez en arrière aussi? C'est beau. Merci.
All good? You can hear me? Okay. Good evening and welcome to this regular public meeting of the Dieppe City Council. Let us begin with the opening word. The city of Dieppe recognizes that the land on which it operates is part of the unceded traditional territory of the Mi'kmaq. Also, dear colleagues, let's have the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Good evening and welcome to you all. So the opening word, no mayor's announcements. I call this meeting to order. And we're going to talk about the installation of the clerk. This evening we have quorum for the meeting, Your Worship. The deputy mayor has another function, and someone else is in Montreal. But we do have quorum this evening. Thank you. Thank you for those comments. Conflict of interest? None. Let's move on. With the adoption of the agenda. Your Worship, we have an item to add to the agenda. It takes unanimous consent from Council for an expropriation matter to prolong Dieppe Boulevard. It would be integrated to 11.3.2. So 11.3.2. It needs a unanimous approval to add this item to the agenda. Thank you. Will someone so move? Councillor Blideau moves, seconded by Councillor Godet on the question. Seeing none, all those in favor of this motion will say aye. Against, nay. Now we're at presentations, inquiries, and petitions. Oh, sorry. Pardon me. We need to pass the agenda. We've just done that, Your Worship, so we're all good. Okay, let's move on then to presentations, inquiries, and petitions. Nothing more than Sergeant Ebad, who's here on behalf of the RCMP. This is the next item on the agenda. And so we welcome you, Staff Sergeant Ebad, to the meeting. Once again, good evening and welcome. And as soon as I can find your microphone, there you go. Good evening, Your Worship. Good evening and welcome. Thank you. Good evening, members of Council and members of the public. I'm finally back to my regular work after 2 months of a pause from your meetings. A big thank you to Sergeant Eric Dussel, who replaced me for the last 2 meetings while I was away on holiday, and I was also deployed to G7. With regard to the community policing services, we continue to be very busy with this fine weather. Since our last meeting in June, we have had the opportunity to participate in many community events. One in particular, which happened on June 17th, it's called Water Balloon Operation, which was enormously successful. Luc Picard organized a water balloon fight with the students from École de Sommet. The fire service didn't bring their giant cannon. The children and adults help us to celebrate the end of the year. There wasn't one dry police officer, and it looked like Inspector White was the main target. We would like to continue this activity next year and probably in the Dieppe area. Last week, the community policing services organized an event to expose young women to law enforcement careers. 18 young women participated. Some came from Manitoba, Ontario, Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, and of course, some also came from New Brunswick. I would take this opportunity to remind you that women have been members of the RCMP as police officers since 1974, and we represent 20% of the force at the present time. So this event was favorably viewed. The members of community policing also had an opportunity to attend various graduation ceremonies at the end of June. They also did an operation to educate the population about theft cars by patrolling the Kodiak Plaza parking lot. The police officers and the citizens on patrol placed bookmarks on every car to remind owners to not let high-value items in their cars and to properly lock their doors. With regard to crime reduction, they were also very busy in these last months with seizures of drugs. This group is dealing with a variety of issues, including thefts. Recently, as a result of a report submitted online, a victim of theft approached us, and the reduction of crime group were innovative, and it allowed the RCMP of Kodiak to find a stolen jewelry and to arrest the suspect. This person had wanted to sell it on Marketplace. The jewel was found and returned to the owner. This shows the population that all criminal acts should be reported, no matter how serious they are. The online service of the RCMP is a very important tool, and we encourage the public to use it more. On July 10th, the crime reduction group had an operation in order to curb public consumption of drugs in public or open air consumption. This operation allowed us to arrest 8 individuals who were being looked for because of arrest warrants, and 5 drug seizures and also drug paraphernalia were also seized at the same time. With regard to general investigations, on May 12, 2025, Kodiak received a call from the Credit Union Bank and Review telling us of an armed robbery. 2 men fled the scene immediately after having stolen the money. The general investigations began the inquiry very quickly, and on May 14, one of the 2 men was apprehended in a store on Trinity Street. The next day, the second suspect was arrested in the Dieppe area. Both men are now in prison until their trial. The next court date for this file is July 16. With the quick apprehension of these 2 suspects, the general inquiries has contributed to the safety of our communities. With regard to patrol, 99 fines and warnings were issued during June in Dieppe. The most frequent infractions or violations were either fines or warnings regarding speeding, speeding over 25 kilometers an hour, but under 50 kilometers an hour. 17 warnings were issued. 6 fines were issued for expired license, 5 for vehicles that didn't have the appropriate lights, and 4 violations for failure to obey a road sign. That's it for me this evening. Thank you very much. Staff Sergeant Hébert. Questions by members of council?
Monsieur Godet.
Councillor Godet.
Je peux vous revenir là-dessus. C'est similaire à une bicyclette.
It's similar to a bicycle, so they should be wearing helmets, safety helmets. So there was a fine awarded there. The interpreter is very sorry. The microphone isn't working for this person, and so I can't interpret what he or she is saying.
D'autres questions de la part des membres du Conseil?
Any other questions by council members?
Non. Alors, excusez-moi, Monsieur.
Oh, sorry.
Lantaigne.
Councillor Lantaigne.
Merci, Monsieur le Maire.
Thank you, Your Worship.
Bonsoir.
Good evening.
Juste une question comme ça.
One quick question, by the way.
Cet été, depuis le début de
This summer, since the beginning of this summer, since the weather's been good compared to last year, has there been an increase in the number of thefts? And if there is an increase, is it a big increase? Because we seem to hear about it a lot. I don't have the figures in front of me. I don't think there is a big difference compared to last summer, but I could come back to you with the correct figures. I think it's on the, I think there's a website you can check. It's just that you were speaking about thefts from cars. I'm just wondering if these were thefts reported to police that you heard talk about? Yes, on La Voie, 3 cars were broken into, and thefts from homes, a little bit everywhere. It happens overnight. Great, thank you. Maybe you could bring us some figures, some data during your next participation, and yes, I'll do that. If there are no further questions, let's move on to questions by members of the public, our vast public. No questions? Let's move on.
Adoption du procès verbal.
Move on to the adoption of minutes. Will someone move that? Moved by Councillor Turgeon-Roy, seconded by Councillor Genin. On the question? There being none, all those in favor of adopting the resolution will say aye. Against, nay. The council meeting minutes are passed, which were held for the meeting on June 23rd. Motions, memorandum, nominations. Let's go to Mr. Mélenchon. The first file under administration is the ratification of directives adopted at closed meetings by municipal councils. So there were 2 relating to the same project, the acceptance of women's names and women trailblazers. We wanted to recognize 8 women in our community who contributed to promoting our community throughout its history. So there were 8 categories. The first directive that was passed on January 27 was the acceptance of women's names for the following categories, and I'll give you the privilege of naming them. The category Trailblazer, France Daigle, Entrepreneurship, Sharon Gianet, Ecology, Rebecca Leblanc, Interculturel, Laura Bradley, Sporting Events, Joanne Leblanc, Health, Ada Fords, and Political Life, Brenda Leblanc. And then on March 24th, we had a person for the 8th category. So in Indigenous, Dorothy Josephine Bernard May, this person was selected to be recognized. And at the official launch and the press conference, we named the trails that would carry the names of these women trailblazers. I think it was a huge success. Some great women who have promoted our community and contributed to its progress. And so women have contributed a lot to our community. We are very proud of this. So thank you to all the team who were behind this initiative. So we want to make these 2 directives adopted at closed meetings and ratify them. Who would like to move that? Councillor Turgeon-Roy. Thank you, Your Worship. That Council ratify the directives adopted at closed meetings of Council concerning the following topics. 1, acceptance of women's names, Women Trailblazers Project adopted January 27, 25, and 2, approval, 8th candidate, Women Trailblazers Project adopted March 24, 2025. I so move, Your Worship. Thank you. Moved by Councillor Turgeon-Roy, seconded by Councillor Godbout. On the question, there being none, all those in favor will say aye. Against nay, carried as presented. And I'll add my little 5 cents to say that this was truly an incredible event. It was spectacular, welcomed by the community. Many individuals from the community had tears in their eyes. You know, there were people crying in the room. I think there were many tears over the course of that day. And so we thank all those individuals for their contributions to the city of Dieppe. And clearly, it's a great way to encourage all our citizens to participate in community work. Okay, let's move on now. After we dry our tears, and we'll move on to finance. That might make the rest of you cry. Yes, it's the renewal of the group insurance plan. You have in front of you a recommendation to continue the group insurance plan and the pool coverage with Assumption Life. The company which does the work for us is Gauguin Champlain Financial Services. We recommend we renew at the cost of $1.7711119 million. This insurance plan covers short-term and long-term health, medical, dental, everything included in the group insurance plan. So we have an increase of 3.14%. So there were some increases in various categories. In all, we're talking about an increase of $54,000 compared to 2024. Mr. Drolet and Mr. Laving are here. And if you want any clarifications from them, questions that I would not be able to answer. And so I put that in front of you. Thank you. Any questions by council members? Any questions? Oh, we need a seconder first. So would someone move the adoption of this resolution? So please go ahead. Moved by Councillor Lantagne. Thank you. 3.14% increase is not very much. Because we're talking about insurance, you know, that's something. So it's the renewal of the group insurance plan and the pool coverage with Assumption Life as per the terms and conditions outlined in the letter and table submitted by Gauguin Champlain Financial Services in June 2025 for the period starting August 1, 2025 to July 31, 2026 at the estimated cost of $1,771,119. Thank you. Moved by Councillor Lantagne, which is seconded by Councillor Brideau. On the question, there being none, Councillor Godbout. I have a question, but I noted that in the report that we have, we're looking at an increase of number of employees who are being covered. We had 251 in 24, now we have 269 this year. When you prepare the budget that's given and the increase of new positions, we're considering the amounts that increase insurance and that come as a result of these new positions. So we assume these increases, yes, there are all the benefits. Are we including the increased cost of insurance? I don't know if I've seen that in the past. I see that we pay for the costs, but I wonder if we haven't done this in the past. I don't remember having seen this. Could someone maybe note this the next time we look at this? Maybe we anticipate these costs, but when we add people to the program, we expect to be paying higher rates too. It's a comment more than anything else. I haven't seen this in the past, but it's something related to cost increases. Mr. Thériault, if you have a partial or another answer for this, you'll come back to it? Okay. Thank you for the question. Anyone else? There being none, all those in favor of the resolution will say aye. Against nay. The resolution is carried as read, and will take care of the concerns we have with regard to the second matter.
côté de l'ingénierie,
With regard to engineering,
renouvellement du régime. Oh, c'est fait.
renewal. Oh,
Allez plus vite que moi.
you went faster than me. With regard to engineering, 11.3.1, the tender award for the construction of Trotters Court. You have before you a recommendation with regard to the construction of Trotters Court. We've been working on this file for some time now. The tender has closed. We've received 5 submissions, and it's part of the whole process, so it's recommended that Birch Hill Construction Limited be retained at the cost of $2,887,790 plus HST, and authorize Englobe Corp to undertake engineering services at the cost of $290,000 plus HST. So this will allow us to use other lands in the business and technology parks which are related to the road. So we're very pleased. It's a project which is also coming in under budget as well. And we are happy to recommend it to you for your adoption. Thank you.
Mr. Godet, Councillor Godet, to read the resolution.
Okay, on va changer de micro.
No, let's try another mic.
Merci, Monsieur le Maire.
Thank you, Your Worship. That Council award the tender for the project entitled Dieppe Business Park, Trotters Court, to the lowest bidder, Birch Hill Construction Limited, at the cost of $2,887,790 plus HST, and authorize Englobe Corp to undertake engineering services relating to said project at the cost of $290,000 plus HST, and further authorize that these expenditures be defrayed from accounts number 3-3-35-58-7691, General Capital Budget, Construction, Trotters Court, and number 4-3-90-58-7691, Water and Sewer Capital Budget, Construction, Trotters Court. And I so move it. Thank you. Moved by Councillor Godet, seconded by Councillor Prideaux. On the question, all those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Contrary, nay. It's carried as presented. Now, we added an item on the agenda. Yes, 11.3.2. It's an expropriation. And so we need to read the motion and vote on it this evening. Thank you. Who would like to read it? Councillor Turgeon-Roy. Thank you, Your Worship. That Council, having received and considered the report of the Expropriations Advisory Officer, Mr. François Carrier, dated July 10th, 2025, confirm its notice of intention to expropriate, and that a notice of expropriation be issued with respect to the lands described in the notice filed on May 8th, 2025 in the New-Brunswick Land Registration Office as number 46046521. And I so move it, Your Worship. Thank you. And who would like to second the motion?
Excusez-moi, Monsieur. Monsieur Lantaigne, excusez-moi.
Thank you. Councillor Lantaigne. Sorry about that. Sorry, I was lost here in my list of names. Okay, the first thing, of course, is to vote on the resolution and adopt it, and then we will add, if you will. No, it's just a question of adopting the resolution. It's just a question of adopting the resolution that's already been moved and seconded. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, great. Thank you. So all those in favor of the resolution will signify by saying aye. Contrary minded, nay. And it's carried. 11.3.2 is carried as presented. Next item on the agenda, 11.3.1, tender award construction at Trotters Court. No, there are no municipal bylaws at item number 12. We have a notice of motion this evening that is being proposed for a future meeting. And this isn't a question of debating. We're just reading it, the notice of motion, and we will vote on it at a future meeting. So if a council member would like to read the notice of motion, Councillor Lantagne, please.
Merci, Monsieur le Maire. Je donne avis de
Thank you,
motion
Your
que
Worship.
l'arrêté
I give
C1
notice that bylaw C-1 2025,
arrêté
entitled
circulation routière
A
et
bylaw
le
relating
stationnement
to
de la ville
traffic
de
and
Dieppe
parking in the city of
sera
Dieppe,
déposé à une prochaine
will
réunion
be
du
introduced
Conseil
at a
pour la
future
première et
council
deuxième
meeting for
lecture.
first and second reading.
Merci, c'est noté.
Thank you, noted.
Maintenant, l'arrêté C. Oh, on vient de le faire. Alors, demande de renseignement des membres du Conseil.
Inquiries and announcements by members of council. Item 14 of the agenda.
Rien.
Nobody has any announcements?
Alors, on va quand même passer à partir du...
Well, we'll
de-
still
de-
begin
de-
over here.
Ah oui,
Councillor
il y a
Gaudette.
changement de micro, là, excusez-moi.
Yeah, sorry, it's a different mic here. Sorry about that.
C'est bon. Merci, Monsieur le Maire. Moi, j'ai rien ajouté ce soir.
I have nothing for this evening, Your Worship. I just wish everybody a wonderful summer. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Merci.
Thank you.
Madame Genet,
Councillor Jeannet.
vous avez changé de...
You changed.
Voilà.
Merci,
There you go.
Monsieur le Maire.
Thank you, Your Worship.
Je veux juste souhaiter
I
bel
just
été
want
à
to
tous les
wish
résidents de la
everybody a lovely summer as well. Thank you.
Merci, Monsieur Brideau.
Thank you, Councillor Brideau.
Merci, Monsieur le Maire. J'ai
Thank you, Worship.
rien noté ce soir.
I have nothing particular this evening. Thank you.
On va continuer avec,
Okay, let's
Madame
carry on then. Councillor Turgeon-Roy.
Merci, Monsieur le Maire.
Thank you,
Il y
Your
a
Worship.
quelques semaines, j'avais
A few
annoncé
weeks
qu'on avait la
ago,
grande
I
visite
had
à Dieppe avec les
mentioned
Jeux
that we were
d'Acadie.
having
C'est vrai qu'on a reçu
important
de la
company
belle
here in
visite
Dieppe
et
with
je
the
voulais
Jeux
juste
de
sincèrement
l'Acadie.
remercier
We
les
had some really
organisateurs,
great
la ville de
company,
Dieppe,
and
les
I'd like to
employés surtout.
thank the organizers,
Wow,
the
c'était
city of Dieppe,
merveilleux.
the
Je sais qu'ils avaient
staff,
travaillé tellement
especially. It
fort.
was marvelous.
Puis
I know
vraiment
you worked
remercier en
very
général
hard
le
for the
public, les
games,
bénévoles
and I'd
qui
like
se
to
sont
thank
rendus.
all of
C'était
the public and the
merveilleux. On sentait beaucoup
volunteers
de vie dans notre
who were there. We
communauté.
could really
Ça fait que
feel
c'était plaisant
that the community
d'avoir
was
pu
alive. It
vivre
was
ça
very,
dans
very
notre ville.
enjoyable
L'autre chose que je voulais
to
mentionner,
experience that
c'est
in
la
our
fête
city.
des
The other thing I
Français.
wanted
Là,
to
c'est la fête
mention was
nationale de la
the
France,
national
des Français. Et je voulais juste
French
souligner
holiday
ça puis
today.
souhaiter une bonne fête
So I
nationale
wanted
à
just
tous les
to wish
Français
them
et
a
résidents
wonderful
de Dieppe
national
et des
July
alentours
14th,
aussi.
all of
C'est
the
tout pour moi
residents of
cette semaine.
Dieppe and people
Merci,
around here
Madame
from
Godbout.
France. Thank you. That's
Merci.
all for me.
Alors,
Councillor
merci José,
Godbout,
tu l'as bien
thank
dit,
you.
les Jeux
Thank you,
d'Acadie,
José.
félicitations à
You
l'équipe
said it. So
organisateur, nos employés,
congratulations to the
la
organizing
collaboration, à toute
team,
la
the
ville, vraiment
staff, the city,
en tout cas,
everybody
c'était
in the
très
city
spectaculaire
who
et puis
worked on the
c'était pour moi
organization of
d'être
the
haut
Jeux
de
de
ces Jeux-là,
l'Acadie. It
puis
was
j'espère qu'on pourra le
spectacular,
refaire
really, and it was
dans
really
quelques années. On va se
enjoyable.
prendre une petite
And I hope
pause,
they
on va
will be able
respirer,
to
on va
do
donner
it
la
again
chance
in a
aux
few
autres un
years.
petit bout
We'll
et
take a little break here.
mais
We'll
c'est sûr
little
qu'à refaire dans
time to
notre communauté,
breathe, and
c'est
we'll give
certain.
the opportunity to others
Je
meanwhile.
voulais
But it's
aussi
great, and
féliciter,
we
je
do
pense qu'on
want
l'a
to
fait
do
la
it again.
dernière fois aussi,
And
mais
I think we did
féliciter
it last time,
toute
but I'd like to
l'organisation des activités
congratulate
d'été.
the
On voit les
organization,
informations tout le
all
temps,
of those who organize
la
all of the
participation
summer
est là. Alors,
activities. We see information
félicitations
everywhere.
pour
People
un
are
très bon début
participating.
d'été
So
pour les activités
congratulations
à
for
la
a
ville
really
de
great
Dieppe et merci à toute la ville qui
start to
participe.
summer. And
J'ai
there's
une
a
petite
lot of
question
activities here in Dieppe, and those thank you
d'apprentissage
to
de ma
everybody.
part.
I have a question
Quand on lit les
to
arrêtés, j'ai une
help
question
me
au niveau de
learning. When we read
l'interprétation des
bylaws, I
arrêtés.
have a question
Si
about the
on donne
interpretation of these
une,
bylaws.
on parle de notre sorte de délégation la dernière
For
fois, là, parce que je
example,
pose la question. Quand on
we
lit
had
une
a
partie de l'arrêté,
sort
puis
of
on dit que le
delegation last time.
directeur
When
général
we read a
a une
part of the
discrétion
byline,
pour
it says
exiger.
that the
Quand, par
CAO
exemple, c'est
has a
noté
certain
dans le
discretion.
prochain avis de
For
motion que vous
example,
allez donner, là, il y
in
a
the
une référence
notice
à un
of
directeur qui peut
motion,
exercer une certaine discrétion.
it refers to the CAO
Est-ce
who has a certain
qu'on doit
discretion.
préciser dans l'arrêté
In the
que
bylaw,
c'est le
should we
directeur général
specify
ou son
that it's
délégué? Est-ce
the
qu'on doit préciser qui
CAO
peut
or
déléguer
their
cette
delegate? Can we
autorisation-là? Ou est-ce
specify
que ça,
that
c'est
they can
prévu
delegate
ailleurs?
that
Je
authority,
voulais
or
juste
is that
m'assurer parce que des fois, on a
mentioned
des
somewhere else?
autorités qu'on
I
veut
just wanted
pouvoir
to mention
déléguer,
that
puis on a
because
des
sometimes there
autorités
are
qu'on
certain
veut qu'on voudrait
authorities
pas
that we
déléguer.
want to be able to
Alors, je voulais
delegate,
juste
but others that
m'assurer
we
que j'avais
don't.
bien
So I
compris quand
just
on
wanted to
lit
make sure
ces
that I
arrêtés-là.
understood properly when we read these bylaws? Should it be specified in the bylaw itself that that there can be a delegation of the authority or not?
Oui, en fait, je pense que c'est de bonne mise de
Yes,
préciser dans la
I
règle
think
des
it's
peines que
probably
on
important
dans la
to
règle va pouvoir être
specify it
délivrable.
in the bylaw,
Si vous consultez le projet
that if the
de
bylaw can
modification de
be
l'arrêté C1,
delegated. Now, if you're
on l'a
talking
prévu
about
dans les
C-1,
définitions.
for example,
Donc, il y a
it is in the
qu'une
definitions.
mention du
So
directeur général dans
there's
cet
only
arrêté-là.
one
Puis si vous allez
mention
dans les
of the
définitions du
CAO in
directeur
that
général,
bylaw,
on
but
définit le
if you go
directeur
into the
général comme étant le
definition of
directeur général
CAO,
ou la
it's
personne
defined as the
à laquelle
CAO
il délègue son
or
pouvoir
the
en vertu de cet
person
arrêté-là.
to
Évidemment, ces
whom
définitions-là s'appliquent juste
the
pour
authority
l'arrêté.
has been delegated.
Mais
So that's that
c'est moi qui ai rédigé
that
la
bylaw, of
proposition.
course,
J'ai
but
rien fait pour alléger le texte.
I
Ça va venir
in
lourd,
the
mais
motion
quand
this
même,
evening, the
j'ai
resolution, I just made it
D'accord,
lighter
Vous
so
avez la
that it
précision au niveau de
was
la délégation dans
too
les
complicated.
définitions
But
des
it's
intervenants.
okay.
C'est
So
ça.
in the
Puis elle est là. Elle est
definitions
dans
of
les
the
termes et
bylaw, it
conditions.
will
Si
be
vous allez voir
specified if
dans le
there is
projet
delegation is
que
possible.
vous allez
Yeah,
consulter,
you'll
puis,
see it
Je l'ai
in
regardé, mais j'ai pas
the
regardé les
draft
définitions.
bylaw that
Merci.
you're going to
vous
consider.
avez-
Okay, thank you. I
Merci.
looked at the bylaw draft bylaw, but I didn't look at the
Merci,
definitions.
Monsieur
Thank you.
Lantin.
Thank you,
Merci,
Councillor
Monsieur le
Lantin.
maire.
Thank you,
Une
Your Worship.
Touchez pas à vos boutons.
Don't touch those
Excusez, Monsieur le maire,
buttons.
j'ai pas fait
I'm
exprès.
sorry, Your
Je voulais
Worship. I
pousser mon-
didn't do it on purpose.
OK. Donc, juste une question de suivi.
I just have a question,
On m'avait
a
informé
follow-up
qu'il y avait
question.
une révision
I had
qui
been
était en train de
told
se
that
faire
a
sur l'arrêté
review was
C34 sur les
underway on
préventions des sentiers.
C-34 on the
C'est
on
un dossier
trails.
commun entre les trois
This is
municipalités.
a shared
Puis, je pense qu'on
file
avait dit qu'il y
shared
avait,
between the
il y
three
a, je pense que c'est
municipalities,
Moncton
and I
qui lead
think
ce
that
dossier-là,
I
puis
was
on
told
devait,
that
il devait
Moncton
avoir
is
un rapport
leading
qui allait
it,
être présenté, si je
and
me trompe
the
pas, au mois
report
de
was to
juillet.
be presented in
Donc, je voulais juste
July,
prendre
unless I'm
des,
mistaken.
avoir une mise à jour
So
sur
I just
ceci.
would like a little update on that, please.
On a fait une rencontre la semaine dernière
We
de
met
Moncton
last
Peut-être
week.
avancer le micro pour-
D'accord.
Moncton,
Ah, ça,
Dieppe, and
d'accord, je sais
Riverview
pas
met
le
last week. If you could
Oui,
just
non.
move the mic a little
J'ai appris ma
closer,
leçon,
please.
merci.
Yes, thank you.
On a
And don't touch
rencontré
that
la
button.
ville
Yes, thanks. I
de
learned my
Moncton
lesson.
et la ville de
Yes,
Riverview la semaine dernière
Moncton
avec les
and Riverview
intervenants de
and Dieppe
différents
met
secteurs.
last week
On
with
a,
different
évidemment,
stakeholders
Moncton est
from
à
different
l'affût de
sectors. Of course,
du problème et
Moncton
de la
is
solution
aware of
potentielle.
the problem and a
Depuis plus
possible
longtemps que nous, ça fait, ils ont partagé un
solution.
peu leur plan.
And so they've been
La
working
vision
on it
serait
for
de
longer
faire
than
un
us.
peu
So they
pareil
shared
pour que
their
ça soit
plans. The
d'application générale
idea would be to
et
have
semblable dans
something
toutes les communautés.
similar so that we
Pour
could have
l'instant, on
to
n'a pas de projet
apply it
d'arrêté en rédaction, mais
in
ça s'en vient.
the same fashion throughout the
Il y a
three
aussi
communities. There's no
une nécessité
bylaw
ou peut-être
being
une
drafted
initiative de
currently, but it will
demander
come.
que certains
It's
changements soient apportés au
also
niveau de la province à la
we
loi sur
need
les véhicules à
certain
moteur parce qu'une grosse
changes from
partie
the
de la solution est
province at the
là-bas.
on the changes to the
Mais
Motor Vehicle Act because
on
the
s'apprête à faire une
large part of the
proposition.
solution would
C'est
come from
peut-être
there.
un petit peu
But
comme l'expression par chez
we're
nous, c'est mettre un chat
working
dans
on
un
a
sac.
proposal,
C'est un
so
petit peu difficile à
it's
attraper
like
comme
it's hard
problème,
to
mais on va essayer
really
de l'attraper de différents
OK.
côtés.
Puis encore pas ici que c'est
really
les
get a
secteurs
handle on
concernés
the
par
problem and
les
because
trottinettes électriques, puis
it's
les
hard to get
véhicules
started
électriques,
on it.
entre
Yeah,
autres, qui sont pas
because
une mauvaise
there's a
chose,
lot of
mais
people are
qui
worried about
sont
these
quand même assez rapides
e-scooters
sur les
and
sentiers. Puis
other
aussi, il y a même
electric
des scooters électriques, là.
vehicles,
Il y a
and
des gens qui
I mean, they're
rencontrent
not bad
vraiment
things,
des
they're
scooters,
great,
des
but they're
petites
pretty
motos,
quick
je
and
parle
they
pas
go
des
on the
trottinettes
trail. So
électriques, ça fait que c'est devenu
you know,
problématique.
these
Puis,
electric
c'est ça, on va
scooters,
attendre
they've
ça
become quite a
revenir aussi
problem.
à
So
l'automne, j'imagine, là.
I imagine we'll have to wait
Il y
for the
a,
fall.
je
Yeah,
pense qu'il y a plus
possibly. I
d'initiatives qui
think
déjà
that
réfléchies par rapport à
there's
comment
there
réglementer
we've
l'aspect
already started
commercial.
thinking
OK.
about
Là,
how
il faudra aussi
to
trouver des solutions
regulate
pour
the
l'aspect
commercial aspect, but
usager,
we also
syndiqué,
have
quelqu'un qui
to
a sa propre machine
regulate the
industrielle.
Ça va
users
prendre de
as
patrouiller,
well. So
probablement, parce que
and
sinon, ça se
you
réglera
know, somebody
pas.
who has
OK.
their own
Donc, ça va être
motorcycle,
une approche qui va
it's
venir
not
un
the
peu
same. A little
de différents
motorcycle, yeah,
aspects.
yeah, and
Parfait.
we'll
Merci
need
pour la mise à jour.
patrols as
Puis, je
well,
voulais
but
juste moi
otherwise it'll
aussi
be hard to
remercier,
enforce.
féliciter les
Well, thank you,
organisateurs
and
de
I'd like
finale du Jeu
to
de
also
l'Acadie,
thank and
les
congratulate the
bénévoles.
organizers of
Je
the Jeux
pense
de
que ça a été
l'Acadie,
un
all of the
succès sur toute la
volunteers.
ligne.
It
Bonne
was
fête
a
nationale à nos
success
amis
across the
français
board,
aussi.
and
Et
have a
puis, ben,
good
c'est ça, moi aussi, vous souhaiter
holiday
un bon
today for
été
our
à
French
toutes et à
friends.
tous. Puis,
And
comme dirait
I'd
ma
like to wish
mère, oubliez pas de vous mettre de la
everyone a
crème.
wonderful
Soyez forts.
summer. And as my
N'oubliez pas de vous crémer.
mother would say, don't
Merci
forget
bien.
that sun cream.
J'ai pas, moi aussi, évidemment, je veux remercier tout le monde
Sunscreen.
qui est impliqué
Yes, thank you.
directement
And
et indirectement avec les Jeux de
also, I
l'Acadie.
would like to thank everybody who
Je
was
pense que
involved directly and
pas personne
indirectly
qui
with
avait
the
rien à
Jeux de
renoter de
l'Acadie. I don't think
négatif
anybody noted
à
anything
raconter de
negative throughout the games.
Okay. j'étais pas au courant de celle-là, là, mais,
I wasn't aware of that one,
mais même à ça, comme
But-
vous dites, c'était retrouvé.
but as you said,
Mais, je pense
it was
que,
found
encore une fois,
in the
Dieppe
end.
a
But once
démontré sa
again,
capacité
Dieppe
de
did
bien
demonstrate its
faire les choses,
ability
que
to
nos
do things
citoyens
well,
ont beaucoup de fierté
and our
à faire
citizens
des choses
are
pour,
proud
pas juste pour eux, mais pour
of
tout le monde dans la
doing things not
communauté.
only for
Alors,
themselves,
sur
but
ce,
for
bonne fin de
everybody in
soirée
the
à tous.
community. So on that, everybody have a great evening.